Okay, are you ready for some, I guess you could call them combination layouts. Maybe that's what I'll refer to them as. So we're going to have part of our layout, our main menu, is going to be set to a fixed width. And everything else inside our layout is going to scale, or it's going to be liquefied, if you will. And the width of all of these other layout components is going to be determined by the size of the browser window. So it's pretty cool stuff. And again, this is something else that people ask me all the time. How do you pull this off? How do you do it? What's really cool is the actual setup is fairly straightforward. It isn't anything too intricate. If you want really quickly here, here's just as a memory jog for you. And this is obviously Wikipedia. This is exactly what we're going to build. So a page or a layout or a design whose content is going to scale. You'll notice that not only these two main content sort of containers scale, but the nav menu there across the top, the tabs there scales. This welcome to Wikipedia, that box scales. I'm sure there's other stuff further down the page that's, going to scale as well, right? But this main left-hand column here, this main left-hand menu, remains static. It remains fixed, even if I crank the size of my browser window as far down as it's going to go, right? So that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to build. I'm not going to show you how to build Wikipedia, but I'm going to show you how to build a layout that's similar to the Wikipedia layout. So, okay, here we go. All the way back into TextEdit, for me anyway. And as always, I've cleared everything out again. I'm all the way back down to just a raw HTML structure, an internal style sheet with no styles. My body container contains nothing. And we're going to build this up from scratch so you can see exactly how it gets built here. So what I'm going to do here is our layout, by the way, it's going to have this menu. It's going to have a main container. It's going to have a header and a footer as well. And all of that stuff, all of those layout containers are going to be wrapped or contained inside a single master container or a single master div. And that's what I'm going to create here with you right off the bat is my master container with the squiggly brackets. So there's the ID selector there. No properties just yet. And then inside the body container, further down my page there, I'm going to go ahead and insert my master div. So a div with an ID of master. There we go. Don't forget to close your div. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the closing div tag and I'm just going to move him all the way down towards the bottom of the body container, something like this, right? Because we're going to put all of our other containers inside the master div, right? Or inside the master container. All right, so that's all good. Let's go and we have to create 4 more IDs and ID selectors, and we have to create 4 more divs. So let's get to work here. I'm gonna just do some copying and pasting just to speed things up here a little bit. So I'm just gonna paste this out a bunch of times here. There we go. And you have to make sure to change these guys, of course. Copying and pasting is great, but you have to make sure that you change your content as you go. So we need a header ID. We need a menu. Sorry, I had a bit of a brain lapse there. A menu ID. We need a content ID, and we need a footer. Now you can use whatever naming convention you want, of course. And then down inside the body, inside the master, we need to create 4 divs, right? So here we go. I'm going to do one of these, and then we'll just copy and paste out. This is going to be header. Again, with a brain freeze there on my part. There we go. Header, grab that guy, and copy him, and paste him out. 2, 3, 4. That should do the job there. So we have a header, we have a menu, we have content, and we have footer. There we go. Okay, cool stuff. All right, is that making sense for you? Maybe what I'll do is I'll just space this out just a little bit so you can see what we have. So there's the master. That's wrapping the whole shebang together. The header across the top, footer across the bottom, menu, which is going to wind up over on the left, and the content is going to be on the right. Now, the menu is going to be fixed in with the content, as well as the header and the footer are going to be dynamic or scalable. So let's go and throw in some quick content into these divs. We'll do that next, and then we'll set up some properties for our list of ID selectors up at the top inside our internal style sheet.